This week, you sent a letter to Governor Whitmer asking for kids to play winter contact sports, saying that there's been contradictory messages between policy and what you're seeing. What is your argument that these kids should be playing right now, that they could not be the cause of community spread?
Well, there are several. One, I think, we went through fall sports. Obviously, it's hard to argue that there's anything more contact driven from a sports perspective than football. In order to restart the latter part of the playoffs, the health department at the state level and the governor required students to be tested. When they tested, 99.6 tested negative. And that was at the height of the recent surge in positive COVID rates in the city and the state. So that number clearly shows us that it's not student athletes that are spreaders of COVID. That's one issue. The second issue is we played football throughout the fall with little incidents, hiccups, challenges, but we're all dealing with positive cases from businesses to schools. The third issue is 80% of states throughout the country are playing high school basketball and winter sports. So why aren't we? The bordering states of Michigan are playing. Why aren't we? At the end of the day, these are consenting families that are measuring the risk of playing. We're telling our young people they can go to school, they can go to the movies now, they can go to eat, they can even practice basketball, but they can't compete. I think it's contradictory. I don't think it helps with the reopening the economy, reopening our schools. And lastly, I know that the governor is better than this. I believe in her leadership. I believe in her judgment. And at the end of the day, she just needs to explain why. And she hasn't done that. And we all have higher expectations for her. I believe in her. I think she will step up. And we've all, as leaders, have been in difficult situations. We've all been in situations where people disagree with us. But what strong leadership represents is telling people why you feel the way you do, giving data, giving concrete examples why you should support the opposite opinion, and then you move forward. There hasn't been transparency on this issue, and that needs to change. And I'm worried that the governor is going to lose support among her supporters if she doesn't become more transparent about phases of reopening and closing. We need concrete data. We need concrete data to know why we should open schools, why we should close schools, why we should stop sports, why we should continue sports. At the end of the day, if schools are open, sports should be played.
So we're at the week of January 25th. What is the timeline for DPSCD to have in-person learning? What are the numbers that you're looking at?
The daily average is lately been below 5%. So we're hopeful that we'll open all of our schools as learning centers next week so that all children can come to school and log in, eat breakfast, eat lunch, be supported by paraeducators, administrators. And then if the rate goes well below 5%, let's say 3 and steady, then we're looking to open up in-person learning by the first week after our midwinter break, which is February 22nd.
One concern that I've heard from parents, teachers across the spectrum, it doesn't matter where you are in what district, is learning loss. How concerned are you? What kind of measures do you have in place in the district to see what kind of learning loss we might be dealing with?
We're certainly seeing learning loss. Anecdotally, I would say our data is skewed right now. We do assessments at the K-8 level in literacy and math to look at grade level proficiency or performance. But the data is skewed because it's missing about 2,000 students that did not enroll in DPSCD. And we're dealing with chronic absenteeism. So the students that would normally test in school and participate in school are not consistently engaged with online learning. So actually, when you look at our K-8 numbers, they're actually higher from a performance perspective than last year, but that data is, like I said, skewed. So our plan moving forward is we're going to dramatically increase summer school access. We're looking to possibly have every school open in the summer for voluntary summer school, not mandatory. We're hoping that our employees will be willing to participate and be paid. We'll offer online and in person. We also envision offering online and in-person support over the breaks next year. So spring break, winter break, our midwinter break, still continuing with our employees working with our students, who are having partners come in as well. We're adding more partners for literacy already, and we want more partners for math to work with students in small groups during the school day and after school. So those are some of the things that we're looking at as far as trying to make up for that learning gap.